I mean, I think I should probably go on like some sort of show where pop culture and I would win. Because I have a lot of them. For this one, for our emotional bank account, touched on it a little bit in our last lesson, and that we need those positive interactions in order to put deposits into this emotional bank account. The Real Housewives of Orange County, years ago, Vicky, to be exact, called it her love tank when her and her husband were going through some stuff. And so, if you're familiar with that, think about that as far as the love tank. We are trying to fill up our love tank for the Gottmans, and for this course, we are going to call it our emotional bank account. We need this thing to be overflowing. You ever watch DuckTales? The kids are back on it right now. I don't know what's going on. But they jump into their like vat of money, safe of money, their whatever, and they're swimming in it, backstroking. Money's flying everywhere. That's what I think about when I think about the emotional bank account and where we want it. Like that is our ultimate ideal goal, is to be like Scrooge McDuck and his little duck nephews and swimming in your money. I don't want you to be a selfish asshole, but I want you to have that much positivity and goodwill between the two of you. And that will happen when we're adding to our bank account. Now, I want you to also think about, because so often we're like, I'll ask, oh, how was your week? And someone might say like, oh, it was really bad. And another one might say, oh, I mean, it was like mixed bag. It was some bad and some good. And one partner might really focus on all the negative, when that's really challenging for the other one, of like, God, I didn't feel like you saw any of the efforts that I put in. I felt like I really tried this week. And I'm sure that they did, 100%. But because there was a negative interaction, and often as you're working through therapy, when something doesn't go right, it might even feel more negative than it had before. Because here you are now, we're actually working on our marriage and you're still doing that thing. So I might even feel worse about it. So any positivity is gone. Again, 20-1, guys. So if we were just at 1-1, then yeah, we're going to feel like it was shitty. It was a bad week. We need to have more, or we need to have had the bank account super full from the week before. We have a lot to pull from. And we got to be continuously putting deposits in. Anytime we're taking stuff out, we got to notice like, ooh, I'm feeling some disconnection. I'm feeling some resentment. I'm feeling some negativity. The bank account is low. What do we need to do? We need to start creating opportunities in which we can have positive interactions. So does that mean I need to say I need time with you? I need to check in about how things are? Right? That's me creating the moment to then try to have a positive interaction, to try to understand what's going on. And just my attempt at trying to understand and be attuned is a positive interaction. It might have been a hard discussion, but I am attempting to make something better. I'm reaching out to say something's off. And then if we can be like, I think it's our bank account. I mean, you remember last week we had like 3 big fights? I don't think we ever recovered from that. I don't think we processed those. And then, yeah, we definitely were not doing our normal things that we were doing. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense that we feel this way. What do we need to do? But we don't have those conversations soon enough. We get so low that like we don't even want to hang out to then create the positive interactions because we're pissed off. We don't want to get that low. We cannot be borrowing, because then we're borrowing from other places. And then we're taking from other things. So we need to be actively working on the relationship, putting energy, effort, being intentional, so we can create these. So we don't have to pull from anywhere else when we're really low. So now I'm taking my patience for my kids, and I'm being jerks to them because I'm trying to have some patience here, but I'm still not having it. So it's not really working out anyway. I'm definitely not then taking care of myself. How do you think you could add deposits? Think about that. What could I do? What have I either heard my partner say, or what do I think maybe, or what have I've picked up on over the years? What do I think would be adding? How could I add? How do I know I take away? Right? What are the things I know that I say or do that probably are creating a negative interaction in which I'm taking scoops, right? You're not just taking one for one. It is a scoop that we are taking out. So if I go into an interaction, how do I want to do this? Even if this is going to be a hard conversation, can we leave it with our bank account more full than when we started? The answer is yes, you can. But you have to believe that, and you have to work for it. So again, we're going to get into more conflict to figure out how do we do that. But we will never be able to even have those conversations unless we can do what we've been doing. Really strengthening, firming up those first 3 levels so that we can easily, if we're not still there in positive perspective, it's much easier to get into positive perspective, because we want to be looking and scanning and seeing and being aware of the positivity within the relationship. This is so, so important. So many relationships, even when they have those first 3 levels, would show up as, hey, those are pretty good. There's still a negative sentiment when they come and see me, which just highlights my point, people. We need more positive interactions. Even when we're doing okay, because a lot of that could be surfacey. Like, are we actually creating those deeper connections? So if we're doing good, are we actually going deep? Are we working on these things? Are we strengthening these? Are we just using old stuff? Like we're still floating on our relationship, but we're not constantly creating the one that needs to be for us right now. The relationship we had back then is not the one for right now. So we have to be shifting and moving it all the time. And adding deposits, and we can't just be like, well, I added deposits, to get this person. I filled up that bank account and now I'm good. Or I never really did, so I don't really have to. Could be another way of thinking about it. Oh, no, friends. Like, we have to continue to do this. Unfortunately, we don't make a lot of interest off of these. They will carry us. They might carry us a little bit, but we do not make interest off of the deposits that are in there. We have to continue, and continue to invest. We will get out what we put in. And at some point, hopefully in the future, we might feel like we're getting more because we made it. We didn't just make it by ignoring each other and just grunting. We made it because we created it. We built it. We've lived it. And so at the end, we're going to feel like, whew. Even though I kept having to put in, and I couldn't just kind of like, the money wasn't just investing on itself. I kept having to put in the work. Now, all of that work has paid off beyond what I could have ever imagined. We do not stay in the same relationship. This is not just us that shifts and changes. The relationship has to shift and change to adjust for us shifting and changing. And we cannot just rely on, that really romantic proposal I did in Paris as the rest of your fucking romantic life. No, friends. No. That will get you for maybe a year. But you got to keep working. Doesn't mean you have to go to Paris every year. In no way, shape, or form is that what I'm saying. It is like, I can buy you a very adorable little Eiffel Tower, and I can play some French music, and I can dance with you around the kitchen on the anniversary of the day that I did that proposal. Just as special. We'll get you just as many deposits. Maybe not in the Instagram world, but in the world that matters, which is our everyday, the real us. All right. Have fun. I'm excited about this one because there's just so much positivity that we're going to be working on and creating and honing in on so that we are getting really, really ready for our next module in another few days on conflict. Okay. Talk to you soon.